Hello students, in this video I'm gonna solve one practice sheet about Emsat Math. Hopefully that it will guide you somehow in your exam. And we start with the first question. He's asking you find the equation that have the solution as 1 and 3. All what you have to do, you can either use your calculator, since we are dealing, if you can see, all of them are quadratic equations. And if you are dealing with the quadratic equations, it means power 2, you can use mod 5-3. And mod 5-3 will give you definitely the solution. The second suggestion that you can substitute till x and find which one of them will give you the answer. Anyway, mod 5-3 will give you the answer. If you substitute it, the answer will be a upon trying. If you try 1 square minus 4 times 1 plus 3, it's gonna be 0. And also if you substitute like this, it's gonna be 0. This the answer is A. This is question 1. Either you can use the quadratic, the calculator mod 5-3, and it will give you directly the answer, or you can use the replacement to find the answer. This is question number 1. In question number 2, he's asking you if the probability of the spinner, we are talking about the probability of being on red. What is the probability of not landing on red? And we have to highlight not landing on red. Thus we will say probability not red is basically 1 minus 1 over 5, or 1 minus 0.2, which is going to be 0.8, because we are dealing, if you notice, we have percentage. Thus we multiply the answer by 100%, and it's going to be 80%. Thus the answer will be C, because he's asking not landing. Thus in the exam, be careful. We're done with page 1. We will go now to page 2. In this question, he is asking you, he is giving you an equation. I'm going to read it in English. Let me just explain it for you. 5 times the measure of an angle decreased by 30. Let me take this part, and it is 5x. This is x is the decreased by 30 minus this 5 times x. X represent the missing angle, minus 30 is the same as equal 2 times this angle plus increased, it means plus 18. Okay, again, 5 times an angle decreased by 30 is the same as 2 times the same angle increased by 18. All what you have to do is just solve it. You end up having 3x equal 48. You divide both sides, 48 by 3, and then the answer, I think this is a question 3, should be C. Okay, the answer is 16 degrees. Hopefully that it's clear for you. Now we go to the fourth question, and the fourth question he is talking about, you have a basketball team that has 10 players. This our team has 10 players. Which expression represents the number of 5 players teams? Now we are minimizing, so we are moving from 10 to 5 player teams, but we have one condition, that there is a boy called Hassan. He has to be the leader. Thus in this case, since he is deciding that Hassan is the team leader, for him it makes a difference the order. The order is important since he is deciding that Hassan is the leader. Thus you will say, okay, since the order is important, when he give you in the exam a condition that it should be first, some questions will come in the form that I have first winner, second winner, third winner, or he's deciding that this person should be the leader. Thus you are dealing with something called permutation. For students who didn't study the permutation, you will go for your calculator. You have a point or a button NPR. All what you have to do to press NPR, you will say, okay, I'm dealing with 10 total, 10 players, B5, and the answer accordingly is D. And if you notice, the 3 selections or choices are the combinations. C means combination. And why I didn't go for combination? Because in combination order is not important. but he made a condition that he said, I want the order to be important because he's decided that the boy with the name Hassan should be always the team player. Okay, we're done with the second page. I'm gonna go now to the third. Is asking you when this expression is undefined. By the way, this expression is a fraction. Your biggest fear from any fraction is having the lower part equal 0. Thus you will say x minus, 3 minus x equals 0. You solved it, then you will discover that this is the value where you will not where you will have an error, undefined value at x equal 3. Now I'm moving to page number 4, and this is an exciting question, especially for students who didn't study statistics. First of all, let me speak about this shape. This is called in math box-whisker plot. And you need to know that this value indicates minimum reading. This value indicates maximum reading. In the middle, it's the median or the middle value. Here, it is a Q1 or first quarter. Okay? And here, third quarter. And this is a quick introduction for students who didn't study statistics at all. Now we are in question 7. He is giving you 3 box-whisker plots, and people who are studying statistics, they know that this is one of the ways to represent the data. We are talking about the income of a nuclear engineer, a police officer, and a musician, and he wants you to go and read the following sentences and decide which sentence is accurate among all of them, which one makes a reasonable explanation for you. Okay, let me take. He wants the true one. Okay, the answer will be, to be honest, I'll be direct to the answer, it will be B. But I have to explain why it's not correct in A, C, D. Okay, in A, he is saying the median income of a nuclear engineer is greater than the income of all musicians. And here is the mistake. You go to a median engineer. This is the median engineer. What is the reading? Okay, median engineer, let us just simplify, is scoring 70. He is saying that whatever income he is making, which is 70, is greater than all musicians. But if you go here, you could find, but as a musician, your maximum value, it's 120. Thus basically, when he said all, this statement is wrong. Now let's go to C. He is saying the nuclear engineers earn more than, he says all nuclear engineers are earning more than police officers. Let's go and we combine a police officer. Okay, when you say all, it means what is the minimum value in a nuclear engineer is 50. He is claiming, according to him, here it's 50. He's saying 50 of a nuclear engineer, 50 of nuclear engineer is greater than all polices. But pardon me, you have policemen who are earning 60. Thus you have policemen with 60. Thus this is a false statement. You cannot say all again. Now all musicians will eventually earn more than, a musician will eventually earn more than a police officer. Eventually it means at the end. This is not correct because if you go, let me go to the graph of the police officer and the musician. Again, it is true you have musicians are earning maximum 120. But you cannot say at the end of the day, a musician, if you are a musician, your salary or income is greater than the police officer. Because we have musicians with incomes less than 10. And guess what? The minimum income of a policeman is almost above 10. This is why this is a wrong statement. Now, in the middle, it is correct. You can see that the median of the policeman is the same as the median of a musician, which is the value of 30. Okay, now we will go to the 5th page. And let me just speak about this question. He is saying a number 5 is divided. Let me read it. A 5 is divided by a number 5x. The result, when he says the result, it means equal 3 more than 7 divided by twice the number 2x. And he is asking you to solve this equation. Now, this equation, you can go directly to your calculator and you try part A, B, C, D until you get the correct answer. The correct answer will be question B. Thus, you can solve it by trying. But to be accurate, how you solve it, we multiply all the whole equation with x. Thus, you end up 3x plus 7 over 2. And you subtract here 5 minus 7 over 2 equal 3x. And when you solve it and simplify it, this is the answer. Hopefully, question 8 is clear for you. Now we will come to this question. Just here, I want you to see question 8. This is the way how you solve it. Or you can go and you substitute the options A, B, C, D till you find it the correct answer. Now, he's asking you to simplify. This is a rational expression. So you will multiply this one, 15x minus 8x, and then don't forget to multiply both to 20x squared. Okay, 15 minus 8x is 7x over 20x squared. 1x will remove 1x. It is 7 over 20x. And guess what? The answer is A. Okay? I hope it's clear. Just give me 1 minute. Or you just can try until you find the answer. I would advise you to try, and the answer is number B. Now we go and we read the following question. He's asking you which statement is false, and I'm going to give you the answer. It is a question C, because he claims all rectangles are square. Let me highlight. A rectangle look like this. Up equal down, left equal right. A square, it's a four-sided shape with 4 equal sides. Thus we can say actually that a square is a special case of a rectangle. You cannot say that a rectangle or rectangle, if you have a rectangle, then you have a square. No, a rectangle is a shape where the upper side equal lower side and left side equal right side. And you could have by accident that all sides equal in a rectangle, and then you will have a square. Okay, I'm gonna go now 1 page further, and I'm moving to question 2. To question 12, and he is asking you to simplify the following. You will do the following: 2 times 2 squared minus 3 to negative 3, and use the brackets upon substitution, please, and then use a calculator, and the answer should be number B. Okay, this is the answer. Now we go to question 13, and he is using the scientific notation, and in this case, because you will move the decimal here, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but because you move from left to right, the answer should be A. Or you can use a calculator. You can insert this one and change it into scientific mode, and it will give you the expression. Then you can copy the value of M. I'm gonna go 1 page further, and in question 14, he is telling you you have a midpoint, which is midpoint. By the way, you need to remember that midpoint is basically x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma y1 plus y2 over 2. The midpoint is 5, negative 1, equal, and we're dealing, this is x1, y1, thus we will say 2 plus x2 over 2 equal negative 3 plus y2 over 2. We start comparing. We will say this part equal this part. 5 equal 2 plus x2 over 2. If you solve it, you will have 8 equal x2. This is the second point. Here, we have to solve it because we are deleting those two because they don't have 8, but option B and option D, they have 8. Thus we will say upon comparing negative 3 plus y2 over 2 equal negative 1, you do cross product, you imagine over 1, negative 3 plus y2 equal negative 2. When you solve it, you will discover that y2 equal 1. Thus, you're dealing with the point 8 with 1, and this is option, I think, D. Okay, I'm gonna go to the last, no, not to the last page, sorry, to question 15, and he is asking you which point can be in the solution. This is the solution area, and you have to plot or graph the points. You will notice that only negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4 with negative 1, only this one in shaded area, and accordingly this is the solution. The rest will come, some of them outside the shaded area, some of them will be on the dot line, dash line or dot line. It means it's not a solution. Okay, I'm gonna go one page further. Question 16. Okay, if I have an image and I'm talking about reflect on x-axis. When you say reflect on x-axis, you fix the x and you change just the sign of y. Thus for you, negative 3, 7 on x-axis, just don't change the x, change the sign of y, and you are dealing with option A. Okay, now I will go to question 17. Which equation represent a line with a slope, slope 2 and y-intercept? Y equal mx plus b. This is the slope and this is the intercept. All what you have to do, just search y equal 2x plus 6, and this is an easy question from grade 8 level, even not 9. Thus we say 17, the answer is C. Hopefully that you are following up with me. I'm gonna go to this one, and for the students who didn't study trigonometry yet, any question that will appear in trigonometry, you have to use the key so, ka, toa. Okay, and what does it mean? So it means sine equal opposite or over hypotenuse. Ka, it means cosine adjacent over hypotenuse. Toa, it means tan, and it is opposite over adjacent. Okay, let's go to the question to classify the H and O and A. I'm gonna use a different color. Let me go to red color. Always 90, look at H. Always the angle, look at O. Thus what is left for us? A. Now I could tell I have an A in the question. Thus it should remind me of this one. Thus what I will use, I will say cosine 40 equal, the question, pardon me. He wants us to find AB. He wants AO. You have A. Thus which function has O and A? The TOA. Thus you will say tan 40 equal O over A. You can use it tan because it's the only function that letter O and A appear together. Thus accordingly the answer is C. We go, what is the solution of the following equation? In math we have a rule. If you have something at both sides, cancel it. Now you reach, is 1 equal to never? Thus according to never, this will never happen. There is no solution. Okay, now let me show you how you simplify. Again, you can use calculator. The calculator will simplify it for you. If you do it with calculator, the answer should be D. Okay, I'm gonna go one page more. And here the graph of x squared plus y squared equal 4. And by the way, this is a circle that with 2, 2, negative 2, negative 2, and y equal x. This is a function, and you know, without even trying, this is 2 cuts. Or you can do the following. You can start substituting, and you know what? You will have always 2 solutions. Thus the answer is C. Now I'm gonna go to question D. Look at the story. He's telling you granola bar costs 0.55 each. Thus if you buy 0, you will pay 0. Now if I buy 1, I will pay 55. If I will buy 2, just multiply this by 2, you should end up having 1.1. If I want to double it to yani 4 pieces, I have to pay 2.2. Let me go and check the readings. Okay. To be honest, I don't know what is the difference between B and D, to be honest. Yani this is wrong because he's telling you the price of a 0 par is 55. This is wrong. Okay. Here also the price of a 0, this is wrong. Okay, what is the difference between both of them? I think there was a mistake in this question. If you notice, both of them, they are the same. No, not both of them. I'm sorry. Here, I see the mistake. Here, if you double by 2, you will have 4. Just multiply by 2, you end up 220. Thus the answer is D. It's small, but you have to be careful. It's easy, but you have to be careful. I'm gonna go now to question 23, and you have to remember that you multiply first of all the numbers alone. -2 times 4 times 6. -2 times 4 is -8, -48. Now you say you add the powers here 1. You say a 2 plus 1 plus 3. You 3 plus 5 plus 2. You simplify it, -48, 86, b, let me put it like this, 10. And if we check the answer, I think it is -48, 6b, 10. It is C. Okay, now in this question, he's asking you how many different 2 letters. He is putting a condition. You're not allowed to repeat it. To create can be used to form using the letters in the word. How many different 2 letters combination? Okay, combination, but you cannot repeat. It means no repeating. In my opinion, it means order is important. Okay, this it is 2 difference. We say the answer will be 20. I can solve it in 2 different ways. Or either I will say how many letters I have here. If I counted 5 letters, thus I will say this is N, R equal to, and I will use NPR put on the calculator. Thus it is 5P2, and the answer is 20. Or I can say, okay, this is the 2 letters. I'm not repeating. The first time I have 5, the letters of brown. Because no repeating, it will be for, this is the probability that I have, and this is the final answer. I'm done with the recording. This is the first practice worksheet. I will upload it. Hopefully it will, I will upload it on my website. Hopefully it will help you. Have a good day.